we're going to talk about which anime did I like more, My Hero Academia or Chainsaw Man. We're comparing Chainsaw Man to My Hero Academia, Season 6, Part 1. And yes, I know. I know that that is not a fair comparison to make because they're two different shows. That's the point. Also, they're the only two animes I've watched so far. So that's what we're doing, okay? We're going to talk about the final. Which final did I like more? And what's interesting is that the Chainsaw Man finale, I watched the last 3 episodes of Chainsaw Man after I finished My Hero Academia. So I go from one genre to the other. And you might think, oh wait, isn't it the same genre? They're both action. No, not the same genre at all. It all has to do with how the shows are structured. My Hero Academia is doing a very, very long story with massive amounts of characters. You can't structure the show the same way. Chainsaw Man right now is small amount of characters, very tight, compact arc. And so I finished My Hero Season 6. Super fun. Like the final fight is like, I don't know, 7 episodes long, right? Like there's a lot that goes on. Whereas the final fight for Chainsaw Man is like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes max, depending on how you look at it. And so when I finished the Chainsaw Man final, I was like, was that disappointing? I thought about it for a second. I was like, no, it's not disappointing. It's just different than what I just experienced watching My Hero. And that's because it's a different style of writing. It's a different kind of show. And honestly, I think I actually like Chainsaw Man more. And I'll explain why. My thing has always been, really tight, compact writing that just punches and just hits. But let's talk about My Hero for a bit and why it's not necessarily that. It's because in order to service all of these amazing characters, you have to take time away from other characters and you have to weave a narrative that allows the audience to move from place to place, and yet the narrative still all makes sense and progresses the story. So you have to be able to move the audience from this set of characters to this set of characters to this set of characters. So for example, My Hero Season 6, there's basically 3 different spots. There's the attack going on in the hospital, 4 spots. Attack at the hospital, attack at the main compound, and then there's the heroes back at the city, and then there's the heroes back in the forest. And so you have all the characters spread across 4 quadrants. And so the entire series kind of moves around in a circle, and then the main narrative cut is when the giant wakes up and bulldozes all of the cities, then all of the remaining characters that aren't injured from their respective quadrants, that's where they all come and converge for the final fight. So in the beginning, you have, it focuses on Endeavor and his characters breaching the hospital. And then we focus on them breaching the main front. And then we have an episode where a couple episodes where the heroes in the back, basically the rest of the school, they get to shine for a bit. I think the belly button sparkle guy, he got like 30 seconds of screen time. He was just like twinkles, and then they cut away because again you have so many characters, right? And so you get the rest of My Hero class gets like 3 episodes to try to stop the big massive monster, and then he gets away, destroys a bunch of cities, and then the characters who are left alive from the hospital fight, and Endeavor from the hospital fight goes, and then the breach, and then the back of the city, they all come together for the final. And so you actually have to take the audience through all of these different locations and all of these characters, and each character has to have some sort of interesting thing going with it, whereas I personally prefer to spend time with a couple of characters that are really in a really, really tight-knit story that mostly not necessarily stays in one place, but doesn't jump between different sets of characters. That's my preference. There's nothing wrong with the other one. That just tends to be what I like more. I love them both. And again, My Hero is a great show, but Chainsaw Man worked for me a bit more. One, I'm kind of a blood and gore freak. I prefer that My Hero Academia is plenty bloody at some times, but Chainsaw Man just takes it to a whole other level, and it's massively entertaining. Also, it's new, so there's a novel factor, whereas My Hero, I've been watching that for, well, a while. It's like 100 episodes at least. And so, for me, I would say that that's the main difference between something like My Hero and Sandman is the way the show has, not Sandman, Chainsaw Man. The show has to be structured differently in order to service the characters. The more characters you have, the more difficult it is to service all those characters. So My Hero Academia is genius because it's very, very difficult to do what they do. My personal preference is what Chainsaw Man does, but that's okay. I want to hear from you guys. Which one was yours? Which one is your favorite? Do you prefer very, very long, sweeping stories that jump from location to location with different characters, or do you prefer tight, compact series that have a couple of characters and they just all sort of move around together? Which one's your favorite? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Again, I'm not an anime expert. I'm just an enthusiast. I really, really enjoy talking about this with you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe so that we can hang out and talk about it more. And also, I'm going to be watching a bunch of anime going forward. Every Sunday, I'm going to catch up with a certain amount of anime, and then we're all going to talk about it together on Monday night, called the Anime Roundup. So be sure to subscribe so that we can, have these streams. I'm watching My Hero Part 2, Attack on Titan, Blue Lock. I'm starting Spy Family and Tokyo Revengers. And what do you guys want me to react to? What do you guys want me to see? I want this to be a place where we can just all talk about art, specifically anime, because that's my favorite kind of art, and just hang out together. So those are the series that we'll be working on going forwards, and I look forward to talking about it with you guys. With all of that being said, my voice is done, so you could check me out of this video here before my voice box just pops out of my face, because, my God, talking for 45 minutes straight